Hello there, and welcome to the Our Time Film Podcast, where we talk film, TV, games, and all that jazz like there's no tomorrow. This week, we're talking about Thor: Love and Thunder. My name is Tom, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host John. How are you this week?
I'm good.
Good.
I'm very interested to talk about this film.
Me too. It's been quite a while waiting for this one. We have done every single Thor film, so if you guys are interested in hearing what we have to say about the other ones, go
Yes.
go listen to them. Go listen to this.
Go.
But yes, Thor: Love and Thunder. Briefly explain the plot for those who don't know.
Let me quickly get the plot now. I'll just put some elevator music.
Just play "Sweet Child of Mine." That's what the film does.
Sweet
Just play
child.
just like every 2 seconds. It felt like just all
God.
that song is just ingrained in my brain now.
Oh my god. Okay, so Thor embarks on a journey unlike anything he's ever faced, a quest for inner peace. However, his retirement gets interrupted by Gore the God Butcher, a galactic killer who seeks the extinction of gods.
Ooh, well. Spoilers from this point, so if you haven't seen it, go and see it. What did you think?
It's a strange movie, this.
It's definitely a strange movie.
There was a lot of stuff that I didn't like. Did this feel like a comedy movie to you? Like, it's Taika, Waititi, and Thor Ragnarok is supposed to be like a comedy. This one, I just didn't laugh at anything.
No, I agree. I didn't. The only thing I laughed at is, when they are in like the god place and there's just like a little head with feet.
Oh, that
genuinely, I like that. But no, I think this is less of a comedy than Ragnarok is. I liked this more than Ragnarok for the simple reason that they let it have emotion.
Yes. There's a lot of interesting things that I glad they brought into, like Jane Foster's whole story into this thing. Like, I was so happy with, how they're going to set up with the Mighty Thor character for Jane and this whole arc. And they actually done it from the comics. They actually brought in the Mighty Thor idea that she gets sick and then she finds out that she has stage 4 cancer. And it's really heartbreaking and it's really emotional for this film because, in the Thor films, it's very different in the past 3 films. It's a very weird relationship. But then in this one, it's more powerful, exploring more Jane and Thor into this one and how she feels that she has these powers and how she's going to use them. She wants to be alive and then be with Thor, and it's quite emotional.
Yeah, I read the entire Mighty Thor run, literally finished it last night to prepare for this film, and I was so ready because I haven't heard anything about her cancer in the marketing or in any interviews or anything like that, and I was so prepared just to be sitting here and be saying they've really betrayed the character. And the Mighty Thor in the comics is one of my absolute favorites from beginning to end. I love it so much. But you know what? They actually did it really well. And I'm really, really happy that they genuinely brought it. I was expecting them to completely undercut the emotions and the difficulty that she has in being this hero, but they did it so well. And I think her character is probably my favorite aspect of the film. It's her and Gore the God Butcher, who are my 2 favorites. I mean, yeah, what did you think of Gore?
Oh, Gore. What a really phenomenal character. Like, it was different in, what we see in the other villains. But this one was really interesting. Like, Christian Bale did really well as Gore.
Yeah, great performance.
I love the introduction at the start, like he was praising one of the gods but he was praising this god and he found out that he was just worthless to this god. And then this led to this arc of like killing the gods, how gods see their worshippers as nothing to them. They're just like powerful gods. They're just arrogant and like Zeus in the film. That was an interesting startup for Gore in this film.
Yeah, the film does have this kind of theme. It's kind of there. I mean, we'll talk about this a bit later, but I do think that in both this and Ragnarok, the themes of the film, the character arcs, they're not very well defined. Taika Waititi is somebody who I don't think his MCU films really have too much to say. But what I did like is that there is this attempt at a theme of what does it mean to be a god? What is a god? Like this kind of never meet your heroes. One of the things that I loved about the whole film, we have these kids who've been kidnapped, and we got Thor, the Mighty Thor, Valkyrie, and Korg who are going to save them. And when Thor eventually gets them and frees them, he bestows them all with his power briefly. And he inspires these kids. And genuinely, I thought that was amazing. so often comic book films forget to show the heroes inspiring people and inspiring children as well. Like, first and foremost, comic books and these heroes are moral messages for children. And it was so heartwarming to see them like all, come together and be inspired to fight by Thor. I thought that was awesome.
I agree. That bit leading up to the fight between Gore and Thor. Gore and Thor, that sounds like a song.
That's actually the next MCU buddy cop TV show. Gore and Thor coming this fall on Disney Plus.
Yeah, we don't actually get to see a lot of moments in the MCU, what's quite rare, to see heroes like trying to inspire people to become the hero of the moment.
Yeah. Like, we kind of have at the beginning, Thor makes this speech and he's like, we're going to save the day and we're going to work as a team. And then he does it all himself. And the whole point, and obviously it's a very much like Superman in Justice League, where he just comes in and saves the day. Whereas at the end, he gives a similar speech and it actually results in him working with the kids and with the Mighty Thor, and they all play a role. But again, I think my big problem with this film is it has amazing moments, but how we get to these moments are just a bit flat. I feel like the film doesn't really know, where it's taking the characters throughout.
There's a lot of characters that are involved in the film, and it's quite hard to balance a lot of things like Valkyrie, Korg, and the other characters as well. It's all jumbled all together. Like, you don't see this arc in these characters. Like Valkyrie, at the beginning, I don't know what the arc was. I was a bit lost in all the characters, but I think Korg was just there.
Yeah, Korg and Valkyrie, they didn't really do anything. Like, I think all the Thor films, apart from maybe the first one, have this problem where the side characters, they don't really do anything. Like, this film continually kind of wastes, apart from, I would say, Thor, the Mighty Thor, and Gore. Beautiful rhyming right there. But like, apart from them, the other characters, they don't really do much. For example, they bring back Sif in this film, and she gets 2 scenes, and that's it. And the final one isn't even really a scene. It's just like a shot at the end.
I actually thought at the beginning, when they showed her like lying on the ground, like, oh God, they're going to kill us. Like what they did with the Warriors 3 in Thor Ragnarok. But no, she survives.
I'd like to see them. I mean, she's wearing her comic book outfit, which is cool. I'd like to see them do more with her. So hopefully they do something. I mean, like in Comic-Con 2019, they asked Tessa Thompson, they were like, oh, what is Valkyrie's story going to be in this film? And she says, well, Valkyrie is now King Valkyrie. So obviously the king has to find her queen. That doesn't happen at all. Valkyrie does not have.
I remember that.
Remember that? Doesn't happen. This film isn't, dare I say, this film isn't gay enough. Make it more gay, goddammit. Like,
make it gay, goddammit. Oh my God.
There are scenes where like people will talk about boyfriends and girlfriends, and Korg has a boyfriend at the end. But again, it feels like these small moments they can edit out, that are very easy to miss. Once again, Disney, just go for it. Like, please, like, I think that'd be so good. Point being is that Valkyrie didn't do anything in this film. And if you are going to show Valkyrie getting her queen, could be Sif. That could be fun.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. But no, this is Marvel.
This is Marvel. We're all heterosexual here.
Make it gay, goddammit.
There's a lot of stuff that kind of feels like they don't really bother with. Like this film, it's just revealed Heimdall has a kid. He's had a kid this whole time.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, how does the kid feel about his dad dying? How does he feel about any of that? We don't know. They don't bother with any of that.
I was about to jump out of my seat, but since when did he have a kid? I was just like, why would you put in some information that wasn't really relevant in the film side? I was like, I'm pretty sure that he didn't have a kid. And I was just like, am I losing touch with the MCU? Am I losing reality? I don't know where the information came up. No, it was just random. I don't know why they've done that. Oh, the CGI.
Sometimes it really works. And I think that a lot of the backgrounds and a lot of the settings look really cool. But other than that, I mean, come on. Some of the CGI helmets, dude, it didn't look good. Some of the CGI recreations in action sequences. The goats, I hated the goats, man. They introduced Thor's 2 goats from the comics, and they spend the whole time doing the screaming goat meme, just the whole time, just and it was so annoying. It's like I just don't even like. It's a strange attempt at comedy,
yeah,
which is a shame because the emotional moments of this film are the best. And unlike Ragnarok, the emotional moments aren't undercut continuously by jokes, but the jokes are still there and are still just not funny.
I knew the CGI wasn't going to be that amazing. So, you know, when Gore meets the first god?
Yes.
Yeah. Once you see the first god, the CGI was just, oh my God. Like, it just had the face of this actor, and then the body was just whole.
Yeah. It looked like they just pasted the face onto
Yeah,
like a stunt
you
performer.
know what I mean? And then there was some weird moments, blink or you miss it. When the goats are in the Guardians, I don't know what the ship called.
The Benatar.
The Benatar, yes. And then Thor is like sitting on the left side of the screen, and then once the goats just moved, Thor just glitched. I'm not even kidding.
Really?
He glitched. Like,
oh my God.
He just went to like a different pose. Like there was like no cuts or anything. It was just there. Like you just see like an error on not an error. You don't see like an error, but like you just glitched and that's it. And that was really bothering me. Like, oh, okay, the CGI, yeah, interesting.
Yeah, there are so many times when, and even the filmmaking, like this film, I'm pretty sure based off the credits, I'll have a look now, but I'm pretty sure it's the same cinematographer as Mandalorian season 1, which, as we know, is a really, really, really well shot season of TV. Yeah, so is the same as Mandalorian, and that has some really, really cool shots. And in this, there were a couple of cool shots, but nothing was like, all the conversations are done in the same boring shot reverse shot. There's nothing interesting in there. They don't intercut with different perspectives. It's the same problem the MCU's been having for so long. And I mean, obviously, we just had Multiverse of Madness, which is Sam Raimi doing something different and amazing. But this, it was flat and bland in the conversations people were having. I think every week we talk about the score. You know, every time we talk about the Thor score, we get more and more like disappointed that the scores went from the first film down to just kind of unrecognizable. This score was done by Michael Giacchino.
I was so surprised when I looked at the credits. I thought, okay, who's it going to be? Michael Giacchino. Okay,
yeah. Like, how did he do such a good score for the Batman, and then this, which is like just really boring? And again, they should like bring back Patrick Doyle, who I think was a much better composer for the first Thor.
Yeah, and another thing that really annoyed me was there was so many copyrighted songs. Like you got Guns N' Roses' Sweet Child of Mine. That was played twice.
That was played twice. I think they play Welcome to the Jungle at the beginning.
Oh God, they played Enya at the beginning.
Oh, they did.
It's so strange. Why would you put Enya at the beginning?
They played Our Last Summer as well during the montage of Thor and Jane when they're a couple, going from being a couple to breaking up. They play Our Last Summer, ABBA, and it's like these are great songs, but why are they here? Like they have little to no thematic relevance. You know, they're not used as well. Like, you know, we've said it before. It needs to be more than just dropping songs for the sake of it. I just don't know if it really fits what they're going
like lyrics
for here,
or the theme of it, like the theme of the song, or anything to it that sticks to the whole film. Basically, like what Guardians did for the mixtape, or like songs that really fit. Like you don't want to be like Suicide Squad film, not their Suicide Squad.
2016 Suicide Squad.
Yes, that one, you don't want to be like that.
Marvel does this a lot. Like they did it last week with Miss Marvel as well. They just started playing Living on a Prayer for no reason. And it's like, I think that the films would be a lot more powerful if they were giving some genuinely good orchestral scores. But like, it is disappointing. And I do think that the action scenes do fall flat because of it. And also, why do we have another stupid army of CGI creatures instead of just fighting Gore? Like the fight scenes of Gore are actually really cool, but other than that, it's just fighting more CGI creatures. Like, why?
Shadow creatures.
Yes, something like that. Just weird shadow dimension beings.
Oh my God. It's so messy. Like, oh yeah, we have to fight shadowy creatures, and it's so messy on screen. You just don't know what you're seeing.
Yeah, but then like you contrast that with the scenes in the shadow dimension. Really, really well done with the black and white.
Yeah,
you know, contrasting with the lightning. That was all so cool. And you think about when Thor's fighting Gore in that, and also at the end, it looks pretty decent. Whereas every other scene, it just looks like people are just fighting the air, and they've then pasted in these different creatures. Like, I think it's so much more powerful when they actually have scenes of people fighting each other. But at the same time, I think the costuming and the prosthetics are still really good. Like in the scene with all the gods, there's so many fun creatures. As I said, the little
bow,
the head,
the bow thing,
the bow, absolutely, the bow dumpling. There's like the head with the feet, just various things. And you know what? Russell Crowe is having a good time as Zeus. He had a lot of fun with that, and I really liked when they were fighting the guards, and all the guards were bleeding gold.
Yes, there was a lot of colors, like a lot of visual flair that was different. Like the moment where Jane and Thor on the boat and they see like dolphins. I don't know why there were dolphins. Like dolphins in the
space dolphins. Why not?
Space dolphins. I mean, you got goats, like screaming goats.
I wasn't in a very full cinema, but I don't think anyone was laughing.
Mine was kind of full. Like no one literally laughed. I heard nothing.
Yeah, it all feels very forced. I mean, the Guardians are in this at the beginning,
yes,
and they're normally like pretty funny, but they weren't here. But this is a similar thing to what they did in Ragnarok. In Ragnarok, they spend the opening 20 minutes like getting the plot to where Taika wants it to be. So in Ragnarok, they get rid of the whole Loki and Odin thing, and they just kind of, tie up loose ends from the end of the Dark World and Age of Ultron. And in this one, they do a similar thing. They just get rid of the Guardians immediately so they can kind of go and continue the story. And obviously, they shouldn't force Taika to, work with the Guardians if he doesn't want to. But there was no point in them being there at all.
It felt definitely forced in this film.
Everything with the Mighty Thor was really good. Like the scene where she is in the bathroom and she sees her mum who also died of cancer. Like that's straight from the comics. I literally read that scene yesterday. That was really powerful. All the stuff with her was so great. Like seeing her kind of like when she collapses after they escape the Shadow Realm, and then Thor takes her to the hospital, and her decision to go back to the fight. Again, straight from the comics. In the comics, there is a scene where she's in hospital and Mjolnir comes through the window, and like it's at the final time. And genuinely, this film does the ending of the Mighty Thor story better than the comics, in my opinion. That's very high praise. In the comics, she dies, similar to how she does in the film, in a blaze of glory, and then they bring her back to life. And she's not the Mighty Thor anymore, but she undergoes chemo, and that's that. But in the film, I liked it more that she died. I thought that was genuine. That whole final moment, where Gore decides to bring back his daughter and he speaks to eternity, that was really cool. And Thor says goodbye to Jane. No comedy, just emotion. And I thought that it was fairly good emotion as well.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of emotion. Like Thor has lost a lot of things, family, friends in his time, and then he lost the woman that he loved. And that was very emotional, that scene. So yeah. Oh, another thing that I have to nitpick again was, at the beginning when Korg, I thought Korg was going to die, but he didn't. He just
they do a fake out death with Korg, and they almost do the same with Valkyrie as well when she gets stabbed by Gore. It's like stop doing that.
No, she's alive.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what's the point of doing that? Like there are other ways of making emotional stakes other than just doing fake out deaths. Like, what are you, the Rise of Skywalker?
Don't mention that film, please.
I'm sorry.
At the beginning, when Korg was like, "Once upon a time, there was a space Viking," and then I don't know if it meant to be like comical, but it's just so weird. Like when he was like, "Oh, that guy died. Oh, that guy died." It was kind of making fun of like what Thor just went through. Like basically just losing Loki, Heimdall, his parents, like everyone. And like, bro, you just went a lot of things. And then I felt like Taika just went, "Oh, I'll be Korg again in this film." Just
I was like, when they faked out killing Korg, I was like, yes, oh my god, Korg's dead finally. And then they brought him back, and I was like, no,
I was like,
god, damn it,
they're doing it. They're doing it.
They're actually doing it. No, they're not. But like, that beginning was so infuriating because once again, they completely disregarded the Warriors 3 and so much of like the plot of the first two films. And it's like, why? And this film has a tendency to explain what Thor is feeling instead of showing it. Like Thor
is feeling sad.
So often when they'll just say like, "Oh, Thor, you must feel really sad," and it's like, yeah, I can see that. Like, stop telling me that. Think about the narration in the Batman. right? What does that narration tell us? It tells us, just in the way that it frames it, it tells us about, I mean, that was a brilliant impression, but it shows us about Bruce's like state of mind. It shows us like what, like, about his crusade, and it perfectly frames the narrative around this Batman and this person they're about to see. But the narration in this is nothing but exposition.
There's no narration.
It's nothing but a recap. The narration doesn't do anything. Like, maybe if it was Thor telling the story, there would be a bit more emotion to it. Think about what the Spider-Man narration does. In the first film, Peter Parker frames the story as a sad one. And at the end, you know, he remarks that him being Spider-Man is a gift and a curse and his responsibility. Like, it's so much better than this, which, I mean, like, they just have the narration there just so they can say love and thunder at the end.
The most pointless scene I absolutely hated in this film. They decided to do the same joke from Thor Ragnarok, where they recap everything.
Oh
in
my
Thor
God.
Ragnarok. They get Matt Damon and they get this whole performance on like, oh no, Loki's dead. They did the same thing again, but what's his name?
Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah. And
oh no, like, it was so worse. It was so much worse.
Why? What's the point? We know what happened. This happened years ago. And is this supposed to be like one singular story? Like, a lot happened for Thor. Like, we could have explored like how he felt like fighting Thanos or anything in that scene, and like the aftermath, like, you know, how he's gonna get fit and like finding peace. There was no peace. He could not find peace. There's nothing.
My God.
It should be called Thor Love and Thunder and Peace. Why is there peace?
Literally okay. I mean, I'm loving your enthusiasm here, but that literally the trailer was like, oh yeah, Thor is going to find peace. Even the beginning of this film is like Thor needs to find his inner peace. And the synopsis that you read out at the beginning of the episode is about peace. They don't do that. They just not like Thor's arc is that he gets a child at the end. What? Why?
I don't know.
Child, like, is
it eternity? Is it?
I guess so. Like, eternity has become this child. Like, I don't really know what it's trying to do, but sure. I guess. Like, it was fairly cute. I don't know. I just thought it was like there's so much in this film which felt pointless. Like the whole scene where they go to the gods, pointless. What does it add to the narrative, to the plot, to the characters? Nothing. They go there so they can get a lightning bolt, which they don't actually need. Like
that lightning bolt,
it's all pointless, and not in a thematically pointless way. You know, I think about The Last Jedi. A lot of the side quests are pointless, but there's a thematic reason for that, whether or not it works. This one, there's no reason for it. The only reason they're there is to set up Hercules. But why do we need that? Like, if you're gonna set up Hercules,
wait, that was well. Hercules. That was Hercules at the end. I didn't even hear what you said, because I didn't know what was the accent for Russell Crowe.
I think he's doing like a Greek accent. I don't know.
I thought I was thinking that too. I was like, is that a Greek accent? I just couldn't tell. I didn't hear what he was saying. Like, I was like, okay, steady on.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah. So that's Hercules at the end. So obviously they're doing Hercules now.
I did not. Oh my God! Wow. Oh my God! Imagine they introduce like other gods in the film, like Greek mythology, like the god of war. Hades. Oh, imagine they brought in like Hades, and then
I mean, I think if we do more Thor, like a fifth film, I think we're going to explore that, because it feels like these people are going to become important. Like, but I think it would be really cool to explore, because it feels like we've done quite a few Norse gods. So yeah, let's get into some Greek gods. They could even cross over Thor with the Egyptian gods from Moon Knight.
Oh yeah, that would be really interesting.
Yeah.
That's a very similar thing that's happening in the game called God of War. And there's one moment in the game where Kratos and Atreus find this board, and this board has like 4 different aspects of mythologies. So you got the Japanese mythology, the Aztec mythology, the Greek mythology, and then the Norse mythology, and it's so interesting. So they should do that. They should do that. Yeah,
absolutely. And final point before we give our scores, I liked the post-credit scene, the final post-credit scene where Jane goes to Valhalla. I think it was nice. They brought back Heimdall. Yeah. It was just cool, man. Like, and it's an interesting opportunity in the future for Thor to be able to see the people that he loves. I think that Thor's final scene should be him dying going to Valhalla and finally being with the people that he loves who he's lost. You know, bring back the Warriors 3, bring back Frigga, bring back Odin, bring back, like, hell, you even bring back this universe's Loki. Because remember, in this timeline, Loki is still dead. Like, you know, you bring back Heimdall, bring back like Jane. That would be so good, I think.
Yeah, but this
Marvel,
is Marvel.
Marvel, call me. I'm just
no, Marvel, call me. I've got a better that idea than
make it gay. Make it gay. Call me. I'll make it gay for you. Okay. Love and Thunder. What are you gonna give it out of 10?
4.
4. Okay. I'm gonna give it a 6.
No, wait. Let me think.
Okay.
I really like the whole arc with Jane.
Yeah. I'm basically it's Gore and Jane make it a 6 for me, and I think that's because I read the comics. If I hadn't read the comics, I might not be as happy about it. But I'm going 6. I liked it better than Ragnarok.
I'll be generous. I'll give it a 5 out of 10.
Okay. Hey, you know what? I mean, let's be honest. All the MCU movies are basically the same these days, anyway. Like,
yeah,
they're all 5, 6s, or 7s. If we get an 8 out of 10 MCU movie, I'll eat my socks. But thank you everyone for listening. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more. You can watch all of our Thor content and other MCU stuff. We did Moon Knight, we did Doctor Strange, we've done all of it, and next week we're doing Miss Marvel, so exciting stuff. And email us with your questions. Tell us what you think about Thor, ask us questions about any of it or just anything in general. If you email us oustimefilmpod@gmail.com, and you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram @oustimefilmpod.
Yes, and thank you for listening. We had an interesting discussion about
make it gay.
Make it gay. Yeah, that should be like the title of the film. Like, Thor Love and Thunder. Make it gay. There you go.
That's gonna be the name of the video. Thor Love and Thunder isn't gay enough. That's it.
Are you actually?
A promise. That is a promise.
Oh my god, I will absolutely share that with everyone. Oh my god, that's genius title. Thank you for listening. Be good. Be safe. If you want to hear more Marvel stuff, listen back what Tom said. You know about looking back.
What Tom said.
Like and subscribe. Yes. Like and subscribe. Take what you give in.
Give nothing back.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.